Pornography, it really messed up my life in a lot of ways. It affected everything. I didn't tell my wife, didn't tell my friends, nobody knew. But the internet allowed that little secret to just stay and grow. And it was something that, my wife was literally like, I don't know you anymore. I'm out of here. And that changed me. I had to change because I realized, this thing is a major problem. I literally had to go to rehab for it. My issue was, and is with pornography, is that it changes the way you think about people. People become objects. People become, body parts. They become things to be used rather than people to be loved. And it really, you start to change the way you see people. And you start to use people. You start to feel like, you're the man and they're just, whatever. And I had to change my thinking. I had to change what I believed. And once I knew, and once I was aware of what it was doing to me, it changed me. And I knew, I said, I gotta stop this. And let me tell you something, not enough to just ask forgiveness. It's always necessary to make amends, to fix the problem, to do whatever you can to fix the problem.
My dad took his life when I was 17 years old, and I believe that pornography and an unhealthy relationship with sexuality had something to do with it. He opened up with me a little bit about his pornography addiction. He talked about how not being in control was his downfall, essentially. And for men, it's very important to gain control over your animalistic nature. The way that a lot of men view women these days is not healthy. For a lot of men, our weakness is the sexualization that we have throughout our day-to-day. It's like whenever you're just walking and you see a beautiful woman, it's okay to admire her beauty, but once you start going down the rabbit trail mentally, and that energetic sexual charge is just like lodged in your brain or lodged in your body, and you don't have control over that, that really fucks with you, and that really fucks with your progress as a man.
There's a lot of young guys in particular approach me because they're, based on the questions I'm getting, they're watching a lot of really intense pornography. And that has, we know, there are studies now going on at Stanford and elsewhere. Pornography, it creates a strong dopamine rush. These are very primitive pathways that in some ways can overwhelm the dopamine system. A lot of young guys are getting all this arousal from watching other people have sex. And then they're in the real world scenario and it's like, wait, you're no longer third personing this, you're actually in this scene. and it's completely collapsing them.
Peter Pan has to content himself with Tinkerbell. She doesn't even exist. She's like the fairy of porn. She doesn't exist. She's the substitute for the real thing.
Yeah, pornography I think is nice to stay away from, because my thought was just that and you said it's fine, it's just people that abuse it, So I think like, I don't like to have those thoughts in my head. It keeps me thinking too much sexual side and not enough like connection side.
Right.
Because it just weakens me. Yeah.
How so?
I put all my sexual, my fantasies and stuff, they're not mine anymore. Somebody created them better than my imagination can. And so they live in these, on the internet in these boxes. And it's like, and if it's not mine, I think, then I don't value it as much or something. And so I think it like weakens my ability to like be able to have sex and like be comfortable in that sort of world. I think it's harming a lot of men, man. I really do. We're at the point, for me, it seems like where the temptation is too powerful, where it's starting to overpower whatever my natural abilities to defend against it were. That temptation, man, it'll bait you. It'll bait you, and then it'll damn date you, bro. And next thing you know, you're trapped into a relationship with the devil.
Seneca said something that I think about pretty often. I don't know the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of like, the most dangerous vices are the ones that we hide.